By the year 2050, by the year 2050, the world you recognize today will no longer exist. The global order that shaped the last 100 years will begin to fade. The, unques- the unquestioned dominance of the United States will weaken. China's rapid rise will face limits it cannot escape. Europe will struggle with aging populations and slow growth. And in the middle of this global transformation, a new power will rise. Not loudly, not aggressively, but steadily, confidently, and inevitably. That nation is India, that is Bharat. India is not just the world's largest democracy. It is not just the fastest growing large economy. It is not just the youngest country on earth. India, that's Bharat, is becoming the next major global power. But this rise is not accidental. It is not luck, and it is not guaranteed. It's the result of timing, population, technology, diplomacy, and strategy, all coming together at the right moment in history. To understand India's rise, we must first understand the world it is rising into. The future will not be controlled by a single superpower. We're entering a multipolar world, a world where power is shared. America will remain powerful, but its population is aging and its economy is reaching saturation. China faces a shrinking workforce, massive debt, and growing global resistance. Europe is politically divided and economically slow. Russia remains energy dependent, sanctioned, and demographically declining. In this global vacuum, the world is searching for something rare, a nation that is stable, democratic, economically strong, militarily capable, and diplomatically trusted. That nation is not any other than India, that is Bharat. Economic power is the foundation of every global power, and India's economic story is unlike any other in history. By 2020, India was the fifth largest economy in the world. By 2030, it is projected to become the third largest. By 2050, India's economy is expected to cross unimaginable heights, competing for the second or third position globally. But numbers alone do not explain this rise. The real engine is people. While China, Japan, Europe, and even the United States grow old, India stays young. India will remain the youngest major nations on earth for decades. By 2050, one out of every four working age people in the world could be the Indian. This demographic dividend is something no other power can replicate. And these are not just young people. They're digitally connected, increasingly skilled, and globally competitive. India is also become the world's largest consumer market. With 1.4 billion people and a rapidly expanding middle class, consumption in India is exploding. From smartphones to housing, from travel to financial services. At the same time, India has quietly built the world's most advanced public digital infrastructure. UPI transformed digital payments. Aadhaar created the largest digital identity systems in history. India's tech and ONDC are reshaping finance and commerce. This is not copied technology. This is the original innovation. Now comes the biggest shift. For decades, the world depended on one country for manufacturing, China. That era is ending. Geopolitical political risk, rising cost, and supply chain shocks have forced global companies to adapt a new strategy, China plus one. And that one is increasingly India. Apple, Samsung, global semiconductor firms electronics giants, and EV manufacturers are moving production to India. India is no longer just a serving economy. It is becoming a manufacturing powerhouse. New megacities are rising. New ports are expanding. New industrial corridors are forming. Dholera, Gift City, Navi Mumbai, Amaravati, Bangalore's Tech Corridor. These are not just cities, they're future economic engines. A young workplace, digital infrastructure, manufacturing expansion, and urban transformation together create a $1 trillion advantage that no other country possesses. But economic power alone does not make a global power. Diplomacy converts economic strength into influence. And this is where India becomes truly unique. India is the only major nation that maintains strong relationships across rival power blocs. India works closely with the United States. India maintains deep ties with Russia. India trades with China while competing with it. India has strong partnership across the Middle East. India has good friendship with Africa. India plays a leadership role in BRICS. India is central to Quad. No other country can talk to everyone, but and be trusted by all. This diplomatic balance is India's hidden superpower. When India hosted the G20, it did something extraordinary. It positioned itself not as a follower of the West and not as a challenger like China, but as the voice of the global South. India became the bridge between rich nations and developing countries. Beyond diplomacy, India's soft power is spreading globally. Bollywood reaches continents, yoga and Ayurveda influence millions, ISRO inspires the world, the Indian diaspora, over 40 million strong, connects India to every major economy. English, English fluency, cultural adaptability, and democratic values gives India an unmatched global presence. But influence without protection is fragile. A global power must defend its interest. India understands this reality. By 2050, India's military transformation will be impossible to ignore. The Indian Ocean carries most of the world's trade, and India sits at its center. India's Navy is becoming a blue water force capable of operating across the globe. Aircraft carriers, nuclear submarines, AI powered naval systems, marine dominance. India is positioning itself as the guardian of Indo Pacific trade security. In the skies, India is moving beyond imports. Rafale fighters are only the beginning. India's fifth generation fighters aircraft will be made at home. Hypersonic missiles and advanced surveillance systems will redefine deterrence. In space, ISRO is no longer just launching satellites. India is building space based navigation, communication, and defense capabilities. Now I see reduces dependence on foreign GPS systems. Lunar and deep space missions signal long term ambition. At the heart of this transformation is self reliance. Atmanirbhar Bharat is not isolation, it is independence. By 2050, India aims to become one of the world's top defense manufacturers, exporting drones, missiles, naval systems, and advanced weapons. Economic strength, diplomatic balance, military capability, together they shape geopolitics. And geopolitically, India's timing could not be better. India is emerging as the only Asian power capable of balancing China economically, militarily, and strategically. At the same time, India is not a proxy of the West. Its partnership with United States is mutual, not dependent. Technology flows one way, market access flows the other. Meanwhile, developing nations increasingly look took India for leadership, not domination. Asia, Africa, Middle East, Latin America. India is trusted because it understands development, not exploitation. By 2050, India will not be a superpower that rules the world. It will be a superpower that stabilizes it. India's rise will not happen because the world enhances its power. It will happen because India creates that power through its people, its ideas, its democracy, and its resilience. Not an empire, not a bully, but a force of balance, a force of peace, a force of opportunity. The future is not arriving, it is being built. And by 2050, that future will carry India's signature.